Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix. We're here in the Mojave Desert at Hyundai Proving Grounds, which encompasses Kia, Hyundai, and Genesis. They're all under that same umbrella for this test track, but we are getting a first look at the 2024 Kia EV9. We have done a walk around before, but we are getting the opportunity to drive this, so you're getting to see some drive impressions, as well as how this vehicle handles off-road, as well as on an enclosed road course, as well as some handling to show you the capabilities of this vehicle. If you're thinking about buying a 3-row electric SUV, this is the only one on the market, and it's 800-volt architecture, which means quick charging. That's the highlight line of this, but there is so much more under the hood or underneath, as well as inside the vehicle in the back. So stay with us to the end and we'll talk about all the pros and cons. And there is so much for this vehicle that you really want to know about it and take one for a test drive. Dealers will be getting them in early, so you'll be able to go there, sit in one, drive one, but you won't be able to buy one until near the last quarter of the year. So it's good to know what's available out here. Starting with, this vehicle looks like a Telluride, which they call the Celluride because they sell them so quickly. But this is so much more than what the Telluride offers. And you'll see some really cool features. Let's start off with the LED headlights. These LED lights are really cool. But one thing that's unique is this signature light. Typically you would see the grille, which is that tiger nose grille. Well, replacing that is different signature lighting you can get. And this is the GT line we're showing you now, the top of the line. There is 5 different trim levels. It's important to note that. But you can adjust that signature and you can make your own custom signatures. That's going to be available through the Kia App Store, which you'll be able to get on your phone. You'll notice some other features right here is this nice and clean lines, and it's got active shutters down below as well. Really well designed, and it has a super low drag coefficient. What does that mean? You get better battery life out of it. That's really what this is, sort of like fuel economy. Same thing, you want to get the best you can, making this car as slippery as you can going through the wind. Our test vehicle is the GT-Line, which runs on 21-inch alloy wheels and Hankook all-season tires that are low rolling resistant. You can get 19 and 20-inch wheels on the lower trim lines. Make sure that you look to see which one works for you, and if you're going to drive it through the winter, all-season tires are fine, but if you live in the upper half of the country, you'll want to look for winter tires. Of course, the prices are going to vary between 19, 20, and 21-inch tires. The design style is called Opposites United. This language means it's extended new topography for the Kia SUV. It means it has a blunt front fascia, exaggerated wheel arches, digital tiger front face, which is what I was talking about in the front of the vehicle, animated lighting signatures, up to 5 of them. One thing you won't be able to see on this vehicle is the 3D under panels, which makes this vehicle really slippery through the wind. Height is 7.8 inches of ground clearance. It's 197.4 inches long and a wheelbase of 122 inches. It's important to note that many of the materials on this vehicle are recycled. There's 8 exterior colors plus 2 matte colors and 3 interior colors. Comes with 3 years of complimentary maintenance, a charging credit, a home portable charger for early buyers, as well as other features on demand. Because this is a Kia, it has a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty bumper to bumper, and that includes the electric battery and all of its components. One thing you will note is these door handles come out, and when you start the vehicle, they go in. Coming around to the back of the Kia EV9, you've got an integrated third brake light and this really nice sporty upper wing, the Kia logo, and these LED taillights, which are really unique. They're designed off of stars in different constellations, and it's bright, and they're right here up top, as well as the turn signals, which people have been complaining about. That's all integrated as part of this. Our test vehicle is the GT line. As I said, there's 5 different trim levels, either single motor or dual motor. This is a dual motor and it's all-wheel drive. This is the top of the line vehicle, and that EV9 logo here, really nice, clean and modern, and you can see that design element carries throughout, much like that of an EV6, which we've reviewed before, and you can check that out up here. When it comes to charging, this is where the EV9 really shines. With an 800-volt architecture, it has 10 to 80% charge in 25 minutes. That's 300 miles of range of all electric with a 5,000-pound towing capacity. Ground clearance is 7.8 inches, and there are 4 drive modes: Eco, Normal, Sport, and My mode. When it comes to suspension, the rear-wheel drive has a 5-link multi-link rear suspension with McPherson multi-link front struts. Vehicle to load is also standard on this vehicle with a 1900-watt power for vehicle to load connection. Vehicle to home, which is a backup for your home, is bi-directional charging. They have a relationship with Wallbox, which is a vehicle to V to H, which is a vehicle to home charge. Also, there's vehicle to grid. I'm not personally a fan of that because states like California will be using your vehicle to charge the grid, and that's planned technology for the future. You will be able to opt out of that. When it comes to seating, you can get 6 or 7 passengers depending on which configuration you choose. First thing you're going to note is these really nice knit headrests, which actually do a great job not pushing your head forward, but actually cradling your head. So I really like this feature. These are not real leather seats. This is all recycled material, different colors, different combinations. One thing I like about this vehicle is those in the second row can move the seat, especially if you're transporting people or you need that extra space for whatever reason. The passenger side seat can be moved from the second row. There are 4 latch points in this vehicle for 4 child safety seats. If you go with the bench seat in the second row, you can tie down a seat, but it will not be through the latch system. First class second row seating is available. The second row has power adjustable seats with leg extensions, heated and ventilated, more legroom than many large luxury SUVs currently offer. Second row seating is really comfortable materials, nice adjustable seating, and of course the ability to get into the second row is just pressing this button. And again, you can recline these seats. Now this is a GT line, so it's going to be fully loaded, but if your kids want to relax, they'll be able to do that. The front seats offer power relaxation massage, 8-way power seats, and posture correction, as well as memory seating. Heated and ventilated second row seating, which is a plus and usually a very premium option, which I really like. Manual screens for the second row. On the side of the driver's seat is a charge port, which is nice, as well as cup holders behind that center console. Behind the center console, pull this out, you have a nice little table that is adjustable, as well as a nice storage bin. That's a pretty good sized table and a good sized bin for storage. Nice and deep. Behind both of the seats in front is pockets for additional storage, as well as storage and cup holders in the door. One thing I know kids will love is this may not be a hook, but they will use it as a hook for bags or whatever they want to hang here. And again, on the passenger seat, there's also an additional charge port. Third row seating has more space than a Tesla Model Y and many of its competitors. Really nicely done. And 2 latch systems back here. You'll also note that there are charge ports that are on both sides in the third row, as well as cup holders and storage for additional items. When it comes to technology, this urban styling, or opposites united, includes sculpted and geometric design. With a dual display cockpit, you can see there's 2 displays. It's actually in one, which is really nice. 2 12.3-inch screens. The 12-inch head-up display also has hands-on detection sensors with integrated haptic switches. So when the vehicle's off, you don't see this. When it's on, you do. But the steering wheel also knows when your hands are on it and when it's off. And this large head-up display gives you a ton of information and also warns you, hey, put your hands on the steering wheel if you're not paying attention, as well as audio and visual warnings. But you should keep your hands on the wheel anyhow. Audio system is a Meridian premium sound 700-watt stereo system, dual level floating console, which is really nice, with multiple camera feeds that you can get right in here. Just press the button and you can see you can get different camera directions, or you can go into here and get different directions off of that, or a neat little around view. Isn't that cool? Which you can turn around as you need. Really cool little features. A lot of people like that. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, but they are wired. That's important to note. Column shift by wire is right here. It's park, reverse drive, and the on-off button is here on this little stalk. There's also more storage in the center console because they took everything and moved it here. So that gives you storage here across the top, as well as a rolling top. Adjustable cup holder mounts, which you can tuck right in here. Really neat and designed. But if you want them out, just press the button and they come out. And then you got the parking assist auto hold, your wireless charging, and in the glove box, additional storage. Most center consoles don't have storage, but there is a huge bin directly below this center console. There are USB and USB-C charge ports and wireless charging. Digital key for locking, unlocking, and driving, as well as a smart card is available. Ambient lighting, fingerprint start, over-the-air updates from Kia Connect Store will upload any new features that need to be added or ones that you wish to purchase to make your car very personalized. Your climate control is located right here, but it's also located down below. Important to note, when you shut the vehicle off, this does disappear, but your volume button is right there. When it comes to safety, there is 20 standard features. Advanced driver assistance features include collision avoidance and active assist technologies that elevate this to a whole new level with LiDAR capability technologies. Forward collision advanced assist, advanced highway driving assist, lane following assist, standard highway drive assist, blind spot collision warning, blind spot view monitor, which is the cameras that everybody loves about the Kia brand. When you put the left or right turn signal on, you do get the camera, which is really great for not hitting things. Kia DriveWire's active driver assistance suite includes lane keeping assist, highway drive assist, safe exit assist and warning, smart cruise control with stop and go, smart park, which we all know and love, getting into those tight parking spots, and remote car parking assist, all wonderful. Going together with that 360 surround view camera and the view monitor, that digital rear view mirror is really impressive and makes it easy when you have a full load in the vehicle. Under the hood of the EV9 is a choice of two powertrain options. The light rear-wheel drive has a 76.1 kilowatt-hour battery with a 160 kilowatt motor that gives you 215 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque that drives the rear wheels and gives you 225 miles of range. 0 to 60 times 7.7 seconds. If you want the light rear-wheel drive long range, it has 99.8 kilowatt-hour battery, 201 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque that has 300 miles of range. The next trim level is the Wind trim level. It is all-wheel drive with 99.8 kilowatt-hour battery. It will be available in a single motor configuration, targeting 300 miles of all-electric range, 379 horsepower, 443 pound-feet of torque, and that's 0 to 60 times 5.7 seconds. The next trim level is the Land, which is all-wheel drive, 99.8 kilowatt-hour battery. It is a dual motor, all-wheel drive, 283 kilowatt-hour battery that gives you 379 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque, and 240 miles of range. That includes torque vectoring all-wheel drive with a 0 to 60 time of 4.5 seconds. Or the top of the line, my favorite, the GT-Line all-wheel drive is a dual motor EV9. It offers 379 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque with a 0 to 60 time of 4.5 seconds and 270 miles of range. There's also a frunk area, but the motor and all the components are underneath the car. This is just all the regular components such as power steering, washer fluid, and all that is underneath this cover. Throw you into the seat a little bit. We've got just level 1 regen on the brakes, nothing over the top. Acceleration to this point. And then we're going to lift off the gas, 82 miles an hour. Of course, we are on a closed course. This is not to be done on the roads. And then braking, which is regen. Follow the cones around. Just to show how this vehicle handles. It's not necessarily high speed, but it's a good idea to get a feel for how this vehicle handles. Whether you're test driving the car or you own the car, you want to certainly know how it handles. It's pretty flat. It's got a little bit of body roll, but remember, all the weight is low because that's where the batteries are. It's the bulk of the weight. We're talking around 5,800 pounds. This vehicle is really easy to drive. Of course, you've got the drive-by-wire, you've got the brake-by-wire. Everything is by wire these days, so I believe the brake is assisted. But overall, this vehicle is really easy to drive. And it's something you should do before you purchase the vehicle, is get a good feel if you like how it handles. And braking, nice. Okay, let's try this again in sport mode on one pedal drive. 5.4 seconds, 0 to 60. There is a difference. You can feel it. When you go into sport mode, the seat cinches up as well. And here we are at the lift point, and that was 94 miles an hour. That's pretty impressive, actually. It's a big vehicle to propel, so they did a nice job getting the power down to the ground. We're in the full regen, so you can do this as a one-pedal drive, which is something you have to get comfortable with. I'm used to using the brakes. But you can do this as a throttle steer for those racers that are considering buying one of these. You don't even have to use the brakes, just lift and the brakes will engage, much like you can do with throttle steer on a race car. There's stuff in back, so I apologize for the noise. The regen really engages, but it's not too much in your face. It's something you need to get used to. So let's try this. Here we go. And braking with the max regen. Wow, the seatbelt cinched and everything. That was pretty impressive. The one thing I really noticed was a quiet ride in the insulated glass. It's quieter than that of a Range Rover. With the 19 and 20-inch wheels on the base trim, the GT line offers 21-inch wheels. Really like the fact that it handles so well as a Range Rover or a Mercedes-Benz EQS. 70 to 0 stop times are 176 feet, which is better than the premium competitors. When it comes to cargo capacity for the EV9, there is 20.2 cubic feet of storage behind this third row. Fold down the third row on both sides and you're at 43.5 cubic feet of storage. Fold down the second row seating and you're at 81.7 cubic feet of storage, which is a heck of a lot of storage and enough for any trip to Costco. Every Kia EV9 includes a charging cable and a nice bag that is Velcroed on the back, so it'll stay there and not slide around. There is storage underneath this cover. You've got additional charging in back as well as a second row folding right here. Super easy to use. And remember, this vehicle also has vehicle to load, which means while you're charging, you can charge from the back or you can charge your laptop or whatever you need to charge off of the charging cable itself. It does have an adapter for that. Because we are getting such an early pre-production look of the 2024 Kia EV9, we don't have pricing yet, but when I do, I'll put it in the description as well as pin it to the top of the comments so that you have all the information on all 5 different trim levels. Again, it comes in rear-wheel drive as well as all-wheel drive, so whatever works for you. If you want the longer range, the rear-wheel drive might be the best option. Now let's take a look at the competitors. The list is long and it includes a lot of premium electric vehicles because this is going to be a very competitive set and this vehicle offers a lot for the money. So we're looking at the Audi Q8 e-tron, the Ford Explorer EV, which we haven't even seen yet, as well as the Hyundai Ioniq 7, which I assume is the sister car of this, so it'll be very, very similar. The Toyota BZ7X and the Chevy Blazer EV, which just came out, the Rivian R1S, which we've reviewed on our channel, the Tesla Model Y, the Tesla Model X, the BMW iX, which we've reviewed, and the Cadillac Lyriq. Most of these cars we reviewed. There's a ton of other electric vehicles, but if you're looking at a 3-row SUV, we also gave you a first look at the Cadillac Escalade IQ. That is a much larger vehicle. It's also much heavier and it's going to be certainly more expensive. So we don't have a lot of pros and cons. I will tell you, I like this vehicle. I like how it handles. The fact that it's 800-volt architecture is a super positive plus for this vehicle, which the other vehicles don't have. Some do, but most are still 400-volt architecture. What does that really mean to you? That means longer time at the fast charger or the level 2 charger. This charges up really quick in 20 minutes. I was talking to an internal who was testing this, and they said, while everyone else was still sitting at the charging station, they were already charged and on their way, which is important if you've got children in the car, pets in the car, and of course, time is money for everybody. We're all very busy, so charging is a big feature that makes this car a major plus over most of its competitors. There's a lot of standard features in this car, and I know the price is going to be right because Kia knows how to come in right, just like they did with the Telluride. This vehicle is running for North American SUV of the Year. My guess, as well as the other people on our podcast, Total Car Score, the link for that is down below, I will tell you, have agreed that this is a final 3. There's no question they've done a lot to this vehicle. While the Telluride was a winner in the past, we believe, we still don't know what the other vehicles are in the category that are going to compete, but we think that this is going to be a Final 3 vehicle. Whether it wins or not, there's 50 jurors from Canada and the USA who are going to make that decision. If you have any additional comments or questions, put that down below. If you got value from this video, make sure to like and share. If you'd like to support our channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. The link for that is in the description, as well as for the website, the podcast, the book, and all my social media. This is a really neat car. If you get a chance to drive one, you should absolutely do it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you next time.